Yeah.
how did you handle that?
I broke down in tears at Alex Givans Day. It's like, did I just get my own day? What am I gonna do with my own day?
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Clover. Thank you for joining us today. My guest today is the CEO of a very interesting, innovative establishment in the state of Georgia, in the city of Macon and the county of Bibb. Please help me welcome from Atlanta, Mr. Alex Givans.
Thank you
Alex,
for having me.
thank you for making time out to be on the show this morning. And how are you feeling in your body right now?
Uh, ecstatic. Words can explain. I'm super happy and great background as you can see and traveling. So enjoying the scenery while I'm at it.
Yeah, definitely. A lot has been going on. So, for the sake of our viewers, can you just introduce yourself? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
So I'm Jamaican, born and raised. Moved to the States when I was 18 for college. Went to college for electrical engineering technology. Came from a family of master electrical engineers, had a love for technology, and so I put both of them together and went into the low voltage security industry. And now own 10 years now, Jamtech Electrical, which is a low voltage security company that we do physical security, cybersecurity, and network infrastructure development. Um, yeah, that's it.
So, it seems as if it runs in the family. So, apparently, you're watching the others who were in this same field of work. How did you actually start your own Jam Tech?
So when I first went to college, I was enrolled for chemical engineering. That was my passion coming out of high school. And then when I got to New York City, I realized my uncles they had a library, entire library filled with electrical books and physics books and just all the resources you'd need to be a really good electrician. And then I had them around me, and I was learning the practical part of the business. And then I was in the office with them, seeing the business side of the business and it made sense for me to change my major to electrical engineering. So I had the theory, the hands-on, and the business side all at once throughout my years in college while in New York City. And so when I moved from New York to Georgia, I had all the tools needed to really be successful. And I really wanted to go down that road of owning my own business and getting that freedom and, you know, doing what the family does. And so it was so much easier for me to do it having that background. And so that's when I decided I was going to start Jam Tech.
How did you come up with the name, though? It's so unique, it's so different.
I know, right? So um it was really quick. Yeah, I would say I put probably about 24 hours of thought into it. I got up on that and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start this business and I'm gonna start today. But the name is derived from the fact that I'm Jamaican and I was just always a really good technician. And so I decided to put both names together. The Jamaican technician is really what it stands for. But it's grown into a huge organization, and every time I tell the story, everybody gets that. Oh, now it makes sense.
Now it makes
So
sense why Jam Tech,
yeah,
Jam Tech.
right.
So how are you impacting the city in which you live? Is it businesses that you deal with?
Yeah. So everything from businesses, state and local government, and in the federal space now. How I impact my local area is one, I'm providing a lot of jobs, and I've partnered with a lot of the colleges and training centers and work source programs to help put together apprenticeships and training programs. And we just had a tech graduate from our training program we put together mid last year, and he was so happy. He asked, "Look, I know I graduated and I got a certificate. I could go into the world, but I absolutely love working at Jamtech. I'd like to stay." I was absolutely. So we hired him on full time. So that was like a proud moment to see the training program come to realization and the work that we put in, and you know, creating opportunities in the community, and then working with the city as a security firm. We're able to help them get the best and the latest technology to enhance the security around the city, help combat crime. So from a public safety standpoint, I would say we've made a significant impact in the number of incidents that they've had to what they're having now before I actually install the system that they're using. And so the city is growing. There's a lot more foot traffic, a lot more people coming into town. The Allman Brothers is from Macon. There's tons of historic stuff, and so a lot of people feel a lot safer coming into the community, and so it's growing and thriving.
Wow, and that's all because of you, right? That's wonderful. Now, in you just mentioned that you there was a graduate from your business. That says
Yes.
a lot about Jamtech. How do you
Oh
feel about
yeah.
that?
I'm very proud, very happy. One of the things, I've always wanted to do is being able to give back, make a difference, call it moving the needle. I know I'm one person, but what can I do to move the needle a little bit in the right direction? And I think I moved the needle seeing that come into realization.
I think you have. In one of your speech, you said, once upon a time you were I. Now you can say we. Is that because of the amount of people that now joining Jamtech, as in staff, as in what? Are you expanding?
Yeah, I'll say I took the initiative to start, and I've came across a lot of people over the years who've played a very significant role in the growth and in the success of Jamtech. And today, up to today's date, the team I have in place has been really, really monumental to what we're able to do and the reach we have globally, and the success that the team have. I have a great team in place. They understand the vision. They carry it out just as I would, and I just couldn't be happier. And so when I say we, I say it very proudly that Jamtech is a we, and it's not a I. I'm not carrying the company on my shoulders like when I started, where it was just me wearing all seven hats: the sales guy, the technician, the billing department, HR. It was a struggle for a long time, but now I have all those departments independently, and those guys are doing phenomenal. And every time one of them take a hat off me, I realize that this is a team, and this is a we, and this is Jamtech.
That's great. That's great. Tell me about your affiliation with other countries, like you just mentioned.
So we've grown globally where we've started employing staff worldwide. Some of the countries that we have quite a bit of staff is the Philippines, South Africa, Spain, Jamaica, and in Canada as well too.
Yeah, we need you here
So
in Canada.
yeah, and we're trying to reach out to more, just creating opportunities just globally, and just having that footprint is really helped us grow. And with the time difference in a lot of these countries too, helps us to always be there for our clients. So when we're on Eastern time zone, it's the opposite time. If they have something happen during the middle of the night, I always have a staff that's wide awake and ready to help.
That's great. Now, before all this fancy happened, you spoke about the time you bought your first desk at the store. What was your thought process in going for that desk, setting it up, and getting started?
I would say the thought process at the moment was I wanted to be independent, and where Jamthic has grown to is I did not envision that at that time. And when you start a business and you create a business plan, every year you have to revisit that business plan and adjust and change and be ready for what's next and even push your goal a little bit further. And when I bought that desk, I was like, look, I'm gonna start a business. I'm gonna get my own truck and I'm gonna start doing my own little work here and there on the side and do the appointments. And yeah, I went home from work on a long, hard day. I was working 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week. One of the hardest technicians, Cox Communications, who I was working for, they they had me as a commercial technician, a residential technician, and a supervisor all at once every day. And they knew I could do it, and I did it every day. But when I went home, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start a little business. And I went to Walmart and I bought that desk for $239. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this together. I put the desk together. It felt a little bit more real because I felt like I had office space, even though I was in my living room. And then got on my computer. I was really good at tech, as you can see now. So I created the name, created the logo. I designed the logo myself that night. Went on the state's website, registered the business, and applied for my EIN number, and all that came together. I started working on the website, and I just felt that that goal I set out for was achieved, and that was just one of the many things that I wanted to do. And so I had that fulfillment, and I just sat back and I was like, "This is real. I'm in business now." And that's how it all started. And I just kept working on it from there.
I'm so, so, so happy for you. That's a wonderful story. So where's that desk now? Do you still have it?
Don't actually. That's monumental. As you grow, you don't realize the little things. Even the truck I had back then, I wish I'd never gotten rid of it because it really played such a big part. And that truck had a hole in the gas tank where I couldn't fill it up no more than half a tank or it'd leak out. But I still had made it to my appointment, so I would stop every couple of hours to get a little bit more gas, but not too much, so I could go on to the next one. And it was a struggle, but if I could get that desk and that truck back, I'd frame them.
Um,
I'd really put them somewhere because it really marks where I started.
wow. Through all the years, when you look back, was there ever a setback and you felt, no, I cannot give up, I've come thus far? Did you ever have those moments where you felt down, you're struggling, but you felt you had to go on?
Oh, yeah, plenty, a lot more often than I let on because I deal with problems and stress so well. People say, yeah, there were many times where I felt like this is it. It's not gonna happen. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But the thing that helped me move past those doubts is the fact that when I moved from New York City to Georgia, I had no friends, no relatives, no one as a fail safe or a backup or somebody could say, "Hey, look, man, I tried quitting my 9 to 5 here, saying I'm gonna start a business. It didn't work out. Can I crash on your couch until I get on my feet?" I didn't have that luxury, and so there was no plan B for me. It was just plan A, and plan A had to work. And so when I set out to to start a business and go do whatever it took to get it done, there was just no fit. So there's no room for failure. And so every time it gets rough, every time I hit a bumpy spot or I just need that energy to keep going, I realize that I got people depending on me and I have to make it happen. I'm going to figure it out. And I usually do. And it hadn't been easy, but I made it through the worst and made me stronger. And it's not too much that rattles me anymore.
Wow, congratulations. You have such determination. No, it's 10 years, Alex. When you look back from where you came, how does it feel?
I'm still smiling about it. It, it wasn't fast, but then it seems fast when you look at it. But making it to that 10-year mark, I was always worried about making it to the 2-year mark. Because they're saying, like, most people don't make it past 2 years. And then when you get to that 2-year mark, it's like, well, I made it past 2 years, but it didn't really feel any easier. It's still rough. Every year you start over, you do all your taxes, and you get into a new year and you start looking at your pipeline, you start looking at your numbers, what I got to do better this year. And every year is a new challenge, a new goal. And you get in there and you just work hard. And when my friend spoke at the event and said I would show up at class sleepy most of the time, and that's because I would stay up all night studying. And I find that I'm doing the same thing 15 years later, still at night working, just pushing the clock. Got all these things to do. I got a punch list of stuff to get done. And even though I'm sleepy, I make it through the day, but the amount of stuff I get done at night really makes my day easier with all the distractions that come throughout the day. But having done that for 10 years, um, I felt like I did what I needed to do, and I felt like making it this far is well deserved, and I'm proud of myself. I'm happy for the company. I'm happy about the staff that we've built, put together. It wasn't easy. I'm super excited, and my parents are proud, and they can't stop telling me that. I saw it on my mom and my dad's face on that night as well.
That's so good. So you just had your 10-year celebration with the community. How was that?
Oh, that was an event to remember. Staff they put it together. They said, "Look, we don't want you to worry about anything. We know You're super busy. We get it. We want to do this for you." And they said, "All you do is show up at 6 and everything will be done." And I did, and it was amazing.
Wow.
Room was filled with my first customer was in the room from 10 years ago. Like it was amazing to stand there 10 years later and look at that customer and realize that they trusted me when I had that little old truck to install a security system in their home. And 10 years later, they're still with me, trusting me. And I realized that all the customers that we're able to gain from them is us building that trust, not only with the customer, but with the community. And they helped me to grow. And I was super appreciative to get the love and support from everybody in the community to come out and help me celebrate that moment.
That's very good. So apart from Jamtech and you so taking up with getting your work done, you are affiliated with the 100 Black Men of Macon County. How is that going?
Wonderful. It's one of the organizations that saw the impact I was making in the community, and they have a shared interest of helping the community, giving back, providing mentorship for young boys or girls that are struggling or are going through some economic difficulties. And so when they saw that what I was doing in the community, they wanted to combine the efforts and they recruited me to be a part of the organizations. And so we were able to collectively reach a lot more kids, schools, just realizing that if they have that mentorship or that figure they could look up to and see that, hey, look, he did it, I could do it too. It's possible. Just being that role model for kids at age from 7 and up. Um, it's been really good. Really being in community, really getting to know the teachers, really know the challenges that the kids are having, really getting to know the family, what's preventing them from not being able to get to school and help bridge that gap. What resources they need. Are you missing out on Christmas? Are you gonna have a good Thanksgiving? Just being there, being the big brother as a sense.
That's good. That's being a good steward. And now to the juicy part, Alex. From the office of Mayor Seth Clark in Bibb County on October 3rd. That's when you had your 10 years anniversary. Am I correct?
So, right. So the actual event was on the 5th.
The 5th of
Um,
October. So he has
right.
proclaimed the honor of your own day, Alex Givans Day. Alex, that's huge.
Yeah.
How did you handle that?
I broke down in tears. Broke down in tears. That was huge. I did not expect that. Didn't see that coming. My staff knew about it, didn't tell me anything because they wanted to see my reaction on camera when I got it, and they
That's
did.
huge.
But having my own days, I didn't know what to do with that day. And it's still sinking in, still a high for me. Like, uh, it's like Christopher Columbus Day, Alex Givans Day. It's like, did I just get my own day? What am I gonna do with my own day?
That's
You
what I was
know,
going to
and
ask. How do you plan on celebrating going forward?
so the first thing came to mind when I asked myself that, what am I gonna do with my own day? Is I plan on truly closing the company on that day and getting into the community and do something, make a difference, move the needle, give back, use my day to give back.
That's very good. So next year, October 3rd, doesn't matter what day it is, it will be your day.
Yes. Yes.
You're going to have to group people everywhere for the Philippines, Jamaica, wherever they are. Everyone has to chip in and help you to celebrate your own day. What's the next?
Absolutely.
You have your own day, you're 10 years in. What's the next move now?
Whew. The next move right now is keeping the momentum, keep growing, keep making a difference, keep being impactful, keep changing lives, keep securing homes, business, and families around me. So, um, this was a big deal for me. Getting 10 years, I'm going to shoot for 20 years.
Okay. Is it still settling in your mind?
It is.
Alex,
It is. It's still very
given
recent.
today, I'm I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on that. What
Thank
can
you
you
so much.
say? What can you say to others who are up and coming? entrepreneurs, what advice can you give to them who wanted to start their own business, have started and are struggling? What can you say?
Never give up. Never give up. No matter how bad the problem seems at hand, there's a solution to it. And you can't change the past. You just fix it and move forward. There's a lot of people with the same credentials and same qualifications that I have that's tried doing what I did and gave up because they did not have the momentum to keep going. And so I'd say just never give up, keep pushing. And no matter how gloomy it gets, if you keep working at it, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I love the fact that through all your struggles and trying to get this company to where it's at today, having received your own day, wasn't expecting it, you're still going, you still have the motivation. And through everything that you've done, you have been bringing people along with you. You have been motivating people and fostering your community. And that's very good. That's very good. So, yeah, that being said, any final thoughts you have for our viewers?
I just want to say first, I want to say thank you for having me. Um, I want to say to everyone that, if I didn't do anything, I showed someone that it's possible. And hopefully I impacted someone well enough to do as well or better than I did and keep the community growing and moving forward.
Okay. Congratulations, Alex. It's not hard, it's not easy what you do, but you just have to keep persevering. I want to thank you for taking the time out to come on the show. I want to wish you many more years in innovation and in growing your business and connecting with people. And I know you're going to be expanding to other countries also. Is there any other country in mind at the moment? I know we need you here on the Canadian side.
We're still searching. I know we were looking at doing. We have a nationwide presence in the United States right now, and we're looking at putting in a local office here in Jamaica. Um, and Canada is definitely on the horizon. I see a lot of potential and opportunity there to make a difference and impact in Canada. So I'm just a little terrified of the cold being from the Caribbean, but it's definitely in the plans to come.
Okay, from the state of Georgia, Alex Givans, CEO of Jamtech 360. And from the Canadian side, I'm Clover Sterling. Thank you for joining. See you next time. Let's cheers to coffee, Alex.
Yes.
Cheers. Thank you. Goodbye.